Welcome back, everyone, to the Succession series on Rule the Waves, playing as France with the historical gamer XTRG and myself, Tortuga Power. Alright, so still in this war. We've won the last two battles. I would consider the first battle a draw more than a French minor victory, a German minor victory, even though that was what it was declared. Now, we do have a few heavy cruisers which are knocked out. They'll be in the repair docks for a little while. What I've done is sort by type first, and then secondary. The secondary sort is by location, so we can see most of my battleships are now in Northern Europe. We have those 3 in the Mediterranean, the 18-knot guys, all huddled together, and I will bring them up as soon as we have a big fleet battle to replenish our fleet ships. Out of our heavy ships, we have a few in Northern Europe. One on active duty, one on raiding. And then the other Guidon classes are spread throughout the world, and they are mostly on raiding. We don't have this Guidon on raiding, although it wouldn't be too hard to do, but I think we have not that many ships actually in the Mediterranean, so I kind of want some of my armored cruisers there to be just on active fleet. That'll make a little more sense when we see where our light cruisers are at. We see the only one in the Indian Ocean. That one's raiding. The Guidon there is just on active. We have 3 for these 4 Lavoisiers. I just right now, right before I began recording this episode, set these to raiding mode because I think I want put a little more pressure on the Germans. It says that they are suffering a few trade shortages, despite the fact that we are the one being blockaded. So we'll try to ramp up the pressure on that just by getting some more people to raid. South Pacific, some people raiding in Southeast Asia, Caribbean. Oh yeah, the Caribbean we might as well raid from as well, because we have the Caribbean and we have South Pacific. These two, they don't have to be there for foreign tonnage reasons, so we might as well get them to raid where they are. It's going to mess up the that whole thing, but now we can get it. No, whoops. So I want types sorted first, and then, okay, now we can go back. That's probably all I wanted to talk about with those light cruisers. Let's see, is there anything else I wanted to say? Now they're on raiding, which is good. Yeah, so we only have one. This is the weird thing. I only somehow neglected to move any kind of light cruisers over to the Mediterranean. So we're only stuck with one there. And even though I have like all these Lavoisiers now dedicated to raiding, I feel like we might as well move. And it's a strange situation. These are 5,500 tons, 2.5, 224. The Lavoisiers are 5,100 tons, and they're 2.5, 226. They both have 8.6, 10.3, right? 8.6, 10.3. I don't understand exactly how the Lavoisiers got away with less. What was their trick? What was the trick for them costing less tonnage for what appears to me to be a better design? I mean, just it has better armor. So for this reason, I am going to make a little bit of a switch. I'm going to start dropping some Sardinias. Let's say 4 of them. I'm going to move these into the Mediterranean. They are going to become, even though they're the older ship, and I don't understand because Sardinia is already a good ship, but for some, this is like a magical, Lavoisier is like some kind of magical being. I don't understand how they're doing it, but they've done it well, however it is. And they even have less maintenance, it looks like, so I really like this Lavoisier class for all these reasons, but I don't understand exactly its existence. Excuse me, let me shift my mic a little bit here so we a little bit better. There it is, and this I forgot to do. Okay, now let's push on. So let's get a few more battles done during this turn. Excuse me again. And hopefully we'll push on towards a swift conclusion with this battle with Germany, because I can't wait for XTRG's turn. I'm sure he's a little impatient to get there as well. Who knows? We'll have to remind him the series even exists. It has been quite a while. Alright, so with our small victory point advantage, with all our ships set up. Oh yeah, that's one other thing I wanted to do. I am still going to amass my minesweepers. We're kind of at the point where the advantages we're gaining are a little bit less than we need, so I'm going to get just 6 more. It won't cost much at all. They'll be built in half a year. So probably, it's possible they'll even be finished before the end of this war. I doubt that they'll be functional, like worked up and everything by the end of this war, but that depends on how long things drag out for. So let me just move this one last time. And here we go. let's see what happens. Okay, so quality steel for shells. 4 ship moves were blocked by the blockade. That makes sense. Nothing good for our submarines this turn, just 2 sunk. They sink one of our ships. It's pretty minor. And here comes what I think will be a pretty substantial turn of raiding. 1 for the admiral-succession. I don't know. And oh, that's it. That's all the raiding we got done is just 1. That's not what I expected. We do have another cruiser action I could accept in the Mediterranean. Now this would be my older, this would be the worse off, the Guidon class, which I'm not a big fan of. So I'm going to decline this one, take the 80 victory point penalty. And instead we're going to be doing a light cruiser engagement. I think this will be with the Lavoisier. I mean the Sardinia. This should be with the Sardinia. And we don't need to fight all these smaller battles. We could simulate them if I wanted, but I feel like I have a better chance of winning or at least escaping than the computer does if we leave it in their hands. So we'll just try to fight them very quickly. Okay, there it is. Squad max. Move north to get wind side. And I am locked. That explains that. Let's unlock. They're going to allow me the wind advantage. I will certainly take it. And what are we dealing with here? Is it a heavy cruiser or light cruiser? That's the big question. Heavy cruiser or light cruiser? Light cruiser. This actually is a Lavoisier. Huh. Oh, perhaps... No, I actually don't know why we have this guy who's engaging. But no, let's just go ahead. I'm pretty sure our light cruisers are better than theirs, and we're about to find out. I think we're faster than them. We did land the first hit. That's always nice. I'm guessing this is going to be a 4-inch gun configuration because they haven't opened up on us yet. Mains class? Yep, 4-inch guns. Oh, they are close enough to fire. I guess I probably could have seen that. I don't remember which is which. I think red is outgoing and black means incoming fire. So I probably could have been able to read that from the lines. Now, we just keep our range and we fire. Our ship should do much more damage than theirs. We have better armor. In every way, we are the superior ship. The only thing that they are superior to us in is actually speed. So I've changed my mind. I'm actually going to try to close to prevent their ability to escape later, which would possibly allow them to elude destruction. I'm assuming we will win. Now, they have a good torpedo range on us, actually, which is not good. I mean, firing ahead of a ship, like this is the perfect position for them to launch a torpedo, just perpendicular, hit us. They're doing a lot of dodging though, so we're actually firing our 3 inches and hitting them, which is not ideal. I would rather have the 6-inch gun hitting, for obvious reasons. I'm not even sure. Let's just take a quick peek at our 3-inch gun details. They are not able to penetrate any armor at any range, according to that. So yeah, it's very unlikely that we're gonna... It's the sad thing. This is why I normally don't include secondary guns on light cruisers. They're not very useful. 6-inch guns are just as effective against destroyers. That's the largest caliber weapon, which is equally effective against all types of ships. 7 inches or more suffers a penalty against destroyers and minesweepers. But 3-inch guns they just aren't going to help us against a light cruiser, which is I think generally the light cruisers, their biggest threat is going to be another light cruiser. They shouldn't be fighting heavy cruisers, and they should just very easily overwhelm any destroyers. Okay, we did get 3 6-inch hits there, and now this round 4 6-inch hits. With this, we expect that they will probably try to make their escape, so we will close a little bit. And I'm even willing to give up wind advantage right now to avoid getting hit by a torpedo. Let's just see. They only have 1 torpedo per side, but look at this. Their starboard side is in much dire straits. Much more dire straits or much direr straits? I don't know. Much worse off than their port side, which we're currently facing. So let's try to, even if it's at the risk of losing their wind advantage, we're going to go behind them. I don't think this really matters for us. Yeah, actually our port side is better as well. So going port to their starboard is just a huge advantage overall. good. And it looks like they're on fire. They are. And this is going to be over pretty quick. So let's just move full speed now. And we even launched a torpedo for good measure. We'll cut behind them again. Just stay on their stern so we don't... There it is. Fantastic. So we did suffer light damage, but overall 10,444 to 67. Exactly the kind of victory report I'd like to see. And that didn't take too much time, thank goodness, so we can try to push on for another one. It looks like a lot of the patrols are thwarting our raiding attempts, but that's okay. We'll continue our attempts. Maybe we'll get lucky next turn. And we're still waiting for that fleet battle to happen. Interesting. Lack of fuel from the Admiral Sharna. I haven't been... Oh, okay. Well, we will fight this battle again so that we have the option to retreat if that is what things come to. I find that the auto calculation usually ends up killing your ship or more often than you get away. So we want the option to get away. Wind is to the north. We will pursue that. And until we know what we're doing... Oh my god! I don't know where I clicked. But I think this is not a battleship. I'm pretty sure this is a heavy cruiser. Well, we don't have the speed to get away, and I doubt with our Guidon, which is just... this is a legacy ship, but it's just a terrible design. I don't want to give up all the victory points we've already accrued. So let's... We're in totally open water. There's no terrain we can use as a defensive. Okay, let's think. How does one win this then? We do have central firing, so if it comes to maybe a long-range engagement, no, because they'll have the advantage long-range because we have poor guns. I think what we'll do is spin around away. Okay, now we know what we're up against. I'm sure it's not good. Yeah, okay, 7-inch guns against 10-inch guns. Everyone in the world knows who wins this. 21 knots, so our only hope is to just try to get away before they realize that we're fleeing. It looks like they started to realize it. And now we wait, and hopefully we escape. The fuel is never an issue. Let me actually turn off that in preferences. Can I not get... I don't think there's an option to not receive fuel warnings. I think it's other serious messages, so we'll just have to leave it on, but that's okay. So this all just comes down to coal engines now. Which of our coal engines starts to lose things? Oh, okay, the weather actually helped us here. The nighttime coming. Yep, good, so we'll just speed away into the night. Because we'll notice that this dropped down to 20. We're shoveling coal into those engines. It's not easy to keep up indefinitely. And coal engines are not... they don't have quite the endurance that oil-burning engines would anyway. So that was a good result for us, just escaping. Yeah, I mean, we already saw their ship, 10-inch guns. Get the hell out of there. Unfortunately, they're still blockading us, so we want to try to avoid bad engagements, but we need to take some in order to neutralize their steady creep of victory points. Okay, so we sunk 2 ships, but we lost 2 more submarines. They sunk 1. The Guidon has sunk a merchant ship. 2 more, we're up to 3, we're up to 4, make it 5, and a cruiser battle. Do we want to accept this, or do we want to go for broke? Try to fight a fleet battle. Because they've now swung ahead of us in victory points because of the blockades. What to do. It's possible if we decline, we won't have any... You know what? In Northern Europe, we have an advantage. These are our high quality, our highest quality cruisers. So I'll accept this. This may be... I really want to get to a fine fleet battle. But we'll just slowly and steadily. So this should be the... If I'm not mistaken, Marseille is the... Laville, right? Yeah, La Touche-Treville. Combined it all into the Laville class. That is a good start, but we have... What is this? Our Sardinia? Lavoisier? Sardinia. With her. Okay, still a very decent ship. Alright, well, let's push on and see what we're up against in this battle. There There it is. To our starboard side, to the east, we have the wind advantage. Squad max, go cut off. This is probably their scout ship as well, so we will approach head on, just right at them. Well, they're smart enough to know that it seems like they understand how things are going. Oops. Okay, they're coming back. I'm not even going to swing. I'm just going to let them put themselves right between our two ships, which is just fine by me. A battle cruiser and light cruiser. I think that that's actually a heavy... Okay, so we've identified... Ooh, two. Well, the Scharnhorst class, this is a decent ship. Low belt armor. Good conning tower. 4 9-inch guns compared to our 4 8-inch guns. They're faster than us. They have 7 7-inch guns per side. That's nothing to laugh about. 6 6-inch. So we're just outgunned in every respect. I would gladly trade my belt armor right now for a little bit of extra armament, but well, this is most interesting. It looks like we're going to have a two-front war. We will let the light cruiser up here, the Prote, engage her. That might be a destroyer. It looks pretty small. And our Latouche Treville is just going to engage them at range. Even though we don't have the range. Okay, that is a destroyer, so this is the perfect engagement. These Sardinias are really destroyer killers. They have 6-inch and 3-inch. 3-inch guns are very effective against destroyers. And this is an Emden class, so now we have to... Wow. That is... I mean, if I had to be honest, if you gave me a choice between the two ships, I would rather take either of the German ships against mine. Not normally, because normally I don't care about having 7-inch guns versus 6-inch guns. I'd much rather 6-inch guns in general. But in this engagement, when you're up against a heavy cruiser, yeah, 7-inch guns will actually be better. So we might just take our destroyer here. Let's pick our engagements very intelligently. And this is exactly what the Germans tried to do in World War I. They tried to stay in port most of the time, especially after the fiasco at Jutland. So we'll easily get that destroyer. And then we'll just kind of pull away from the fight. In fact, if we have the opportunity, I don't mind engaging their light cruiser as well. We certainly have already taken down... Yeah, what we could do is just make this a game of... this jockeying game. Maneuvering, but not really engaging with the armored cruisers. And let our light cruiser, who just crushed that destroyer. Brilliant. Let our light cruiser go to town. So if the light cruisers decide to engage, we'll allow it. Ooh, the Prote is avoiding torpedoes. Those are probably from the destroyer. She did get off, it looks like a final barrage. And they're already attacking. The Scharnhorst is already delivering some rounds on target with her, what is this, the 9-inch guns? The 9-inch guns, okay. But this is the solid thing about having a nice belt. We were able to absorb it, no problems yet. Okay, now we're starting to take some hits. Engine room, the belt. Okay, so we gotta pull away. And the Konigsberg. We definitely could take this, but before we're able to complete our mission here, and I'm not in captain mode, so the ships have to stay within their flagship. I am essentially, although Admiral Tortuga is not physically on this ship, I will try to remain only on a flagship, which is a battleship of some kind. We can imagine the task force commander, or this is just a divisional commander, I'm sure, is on this ship. So that if the light cruiser gets too far away, we lose control. The captain is allowed to do whatever he thinks is best, and that means the AI, and that means usually not what is actually best. So we'll have to be a little bit careful, but we gotta send this guy straight north. It's time to already get the hell out of Dodge. And we may even need to launch torpedoes. I will encourage torpedo launching, and I may need to bring this Sardinia back in to help out with these heavy cruisers. So you can see we actually hit with our 6-inch guns, but they hit... Okay, they hit our turret. That is a miracle that it did not penetrate, because remember, our turret armor is pretty low, at only 5 inches, compared to a belt of 8. They've switched fire over. So that's... No, never mind. They're still firing at the same one. We were able to score another hit on the Scharnhorst. Armor of that ship, 4 inches, so it is possible we could penetrate that. Very possible. I mean, this is a nerve-wracking affair. There's no two ways about it. I don't really have control over our destiny here. It's whether or not our engines are better than theirs. Oh, they actually have a knot on us. What about their Emden? No. Okay, so we... Ah, divide and conquer. Divide and conquer. Now, I may have to go in a second here, but I'll just cut back in a second. Okay. Never mind. Looks like we're still doing okay. So the Scharnhorst has somewhat veered off. I don't know if she's... I mean, we have the wind advantage, which means we should have a rate of fire advantage. We should have a targeting advantage. Okay, we're exchanging hits, but they're still hitting our belt, which is a great place for them to hit. Okay, there's a hit on us. How are we doing? We're doing good. Not significant damage yet. Secondary battery hit, penetrated. And now our light cruiser is starting to work on their light cruiser. Very good. Don't know if there's anything better we can do. This seems to me the best case scenario. Okay, an 8-inch hit on the Scharnhorst. That's always good. Very good. The Emden is firing. Wow, such long range. This is a very long range engagement for, 1909. We're not even to 1910 yet. And we are really engaging from distance, which normally wouldn't be seen at this time. Good job, Prote. You're doing exceptional. A deck hit. The Emden's firing so far away. She's actually hitting our deck. Good God, but we have great deck armor. We're not worried about being hit by the deck. So this is actually a great engagement, I think. We can just slowly work on the Scharnhorst. The Königsberg doesn't stand much of a chance, it looks like, against our Prote. We can push that a little bit more. Sight range, good enough that, yeah, we can... This will become its own battle soon. It's what we want it to become, so that the heavy cruisers can't assist. Still. Okay, there's a belt extended, deck extended hit. That's not good. Oh, no, our Marseillais has a fire. Well, it's only a 1. I think the higher the number is, the worse the fire. I'm not sure. Somebody may even be able to correct me. Yeah, okay. So our light cruiser's the true hero this day. Oops. Ah, look at this. Got her to turn tail. Well, that's just fine with me. Now, unfortunately, the Prote can't actually do anything. Has to continue on a parallel course so we avoid being targeted by the armored cruisers, who are just as fast as us, unfortunately. So now I think we just move and we just see what happens. Our ships are moving in good formation, parallel. They called off their light cruiser. It probably has enough damage that it's... Actually, this is going to be a time when the amount of ammunition we have comes into play. And we do have quite a lot of ammunition. I wonder if this is the... I think this is a ship that got our heavy ammunition increase. Okay, let's have the Prote just bring that course down a smidge. A little bit more to the north so we don't go to AI control. Yeah, her engines are starting to give way. She's only at 21 knots now. And here comes darkness. Okay, but that's actually a good thing. We don't... Hopefully we won't... Oh, God. No, 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 no. Oh, God. Oh, God. So you can kind of take control of the ship when it's under AI control if you just spam the shift-click thing to avoid them making their own decisions. They do kind of react to it, which is a little strange, but okay, let's get over here so we can get our own ship back. That should be enough. And your role is going to be support. Actually, let's have you be a screen line ahead, just in case you go to AI control again. Good. Okay, good. So the darkness is true darkness now. We just escape. That might be a victory. Storm off into the night. We've done a fair job. Was this... I have no idea what the support ships are that were detecting those guys. Okay, there it is. And another French victory. So we destroyed one of their submarines. Their submarines. Their destroyers. Took light damage. Apparently we had another heavy cruiser somewhere. I don't know where, but yeah. Just like for like. Except for this destroyer kill. Everything about even. Nothing engagement. Nothing much happened. But we sped through quickly enough that I think we can get one more turn in before we have to end this episode. Okay. Alright, now we tried to move some ships around, but we're going to attempt to move them once more. So let's get these Sardinias, just at least 3 of them to try to move to the Mediterranean. Excuse me. Yeah. Okay, let's try that one more time. The blockade will probably stop them, but Chardon's is in the yard with engine problems. And we have a look at the Von der Tann. This is currently under construction. They don't have this yet, and it's using cross-deck fire, so we don't have to worry about this too much. It's going to have 8 12-inch broadside, which is 2 of our battleships. Good armor, very low turret armor though. Not good. I'm not too scared about this. Good speed, low speed for a battlecruiser really, but good speed compared to the amount of armor they threw on it. Decent configuration, I would say overall. Okay, we have weight savings, diesel engines. The movement was stopped. And we have the Admiral... What? No, it must have been a different Admiral that was... Yeah, it was a Guidon class that was interned. We have this one in West Africa. Of course, we have to fight the battle. Is this our Sfax class, or is this... Yeah, it is. Well, she's slow, and she's not well armed. Goal here is get the hell out of Dodge immediately. Squad max, how do we feint? Okay, we're in the correct wind direction. Let's see which way they go. They went up, we go down. Alright, fair enough. I think we'll have time for one more engagement even. And let's turn this way because I don't want to actually head towards the German port. Should be over pretty quick. Let's see what we were up against. Ooh, a heavy cruiser. My god, I'm so happy we did not try to engage. Stettin class. Oh no, it's an Emden class. Okay, so we've seen this before. They do have central firing as well. We'll have to be careful. Probably that explains why the Emden class in the previous engagement was hitting us from, a reasonable distance. Okay, well, if at first you don't succeed, fry a hen. Try this one more time. Maybe we can just try sneaking one through. Aha! Taking advantage of our naval weakness in the Caribbean. Oh, not aha. This is bad. The German troops have invaded our possession in Antilles. That means they have battleships which they've moved over to the Caribbean. This is exceptionally bad. We will have to react. Okay, the Tage has been interned. Oh god, the Galilee has been forced to scuttle due to mechanical problems. I wonder where the Galilee was. Oh, fleet battle. Okay, here we go. So this is it. Definitely accept this. And oh god, that means it's probably poor weather. Okay, it's daybreak, because we have wow. Oh my goodness. Okay, the historical gamer, the Liena. These are names I recognize. We have a full complement of our heavy cruisers in the back. The Sacre Bleu. What? Oh, right. The Sacre Bleu is the old Tortuga power. So this is, I suppose, my flagship for the operation. And it is the one which can give the order to engage in a flotilla attack, which is the point where your destroyers go and launch all their torpedoes. So yeah, I am on the Sacre Bleu. Sacre Bleu. We have with us the Colbert, an ocean class whose speed is only 19. Thank God all of our speeds are 19. Even the historical gamer, very intelligent that you keep all your ships at the same speed. You don't really gain that advantage from having a higher engine speed. You just lose the weight. Unfortunately, I never frickin' changed my historical gamer class caliber guns to quality 0. And that is a big misstep because I think we had the time to do so. I just forgot to do it. I blame everyone in the comments who also did not remind me to do it. Okay, so we're all at fault here. I'm just glad that somebody didn't remind me and I forgot to do it. It's just, yeah, just a mistake. Could be a costly one. All right, let me shift this over so you get to see the full screen like I am looking at. Okay, well, what is our battle plan here? My gosh. I think we'll tighten up our formations immediately. I'm going to set them to screen because I'm not sure if we have already too many ships under support. These guys are probably all on support. Yeah, this guy's support as well. So we don't want to... they do sometimes kick ships out if you have too many in the same role. If we go to screen, that should be enough. But let's not have screen formation. Let's go to line ahead. Okay. Let's get some ranges. Quite nervous about this. I have to be very frank. Okay, there's my phone. Oh boy. Well, let me actually put a cut in the video here. I won't finish it, but I'll be back in just a sec. All right, we're back. Okay, so this is actually good off camera. I mean, I had to take a phone call. That's what I was expecting something. But anyways, I was off camera able to set all the speeds for these guys. Set everything in our main line to 17. We have the wind advantage, which is good. It is at least a gentle breeze. I'm going to get these guys to tuck in. These guys to kind of pivot towards the other light cruisers so they can have mutual support. We have nothing but good light cruisers in the front, so I'm not too worried. This is going to be almost surely their scouting force. I'm not too worried about engaging their main enemy right away. But the good news is, with the wind, if it stays in its current direction, we can just plow south and curve over to the west whenever we encounter their main line, which should put us firing directly against the wind, which is perfect, just perfect for keeping visibility good. So that's the plan. Lights, camera, action. Okay, we're spotting that's not necessarily their main line either. I like to leave these guys at lower speeds just to, because it's the whole formation is supposed to move at 1 speed, but when these guys switch formations, the other ships are going to be moving at their max speed. You can see this one's only at 16 right now, but it's going to be kicking it up to 23, all these guys, in order to get into their new formation, which I have assigned to line ahead. So just get these guys to merge, and I'm very confident we can win any of the scout skirmishing. Otherwise, these ships should all be moving. I do have this one moving a little bit faster, the light cruiser, to get up and join her brethren in the front. Let's make a good show of force. We have identified a Danzig class. 4-inch guns, 3-inch guns. Terrible design. Absolutely the kind of thing I want to see on my opponents. So we're actually starting to engage. Oh, and she's turning in. Well, what do you know? Ah, yes. Let's actually just run right at her. And we'll go 18 if we can. Okay, I think this is kind of crazy on their part. I want this fleet... We're not going to merge them entirely. I do want them... scouting the eastern flank to make sure that they I mean, the ships are so slow, the battleships are so slow. You don't have to worry about it too much, but make sure they don't send a huge destroyer wave over or something. They are also not in captain's mode. I think the computer basically plays in, well, everything's under AI control, so. Wow, they are just willing to go right at us. Well, we will take this engagement. Okay, Danzig classes. Possibly this is their plan here is just to scout what we have, but they're about to run into a wall of pain. Yeah, we've already landed 2 hits. This is the Prote. She's a veteran too. What's her crew quality? 1? Yeah, that's really good quality. Pursue this one. Okay, now let's go up to 21. Oh yeah, well, these are 3-inch hits. Those are not as effective. The Circle. Another 6-inch hit. And here is an interesting ship. We don't have to worry about these ships until we see a big line of them. Now, we have these guys. These are jetting off a little bit too quickly from the main line. What are our destroyers doing here? I've left all our destroyers on AI control. They will be sent in for a massive destroyer or flotilla attack, torpedo barrage basically, at the right moment. And when that right moment is, I don't know. But hopefully it is indeed the right moment. Let's have these guys defend against the Danzig, force her to turn south, and the yeah, I mean, it looks like Isley, but I'm guessing it's Eiley or something like that. Okay, good. She turned south. That's good. So we don't want her to threaten our battleships with a torpedo barrage. Now this, okay, we have a heavy cruiser here, and we have another ship here, unidentified. We don't have our heavy cruisers up to the front yet, but we can get them, and I think they will be waved. Send the flag signals for the heavy cruisers to move, the armored cruisers, I should say, to move to the front. So we will then, okay, here it is. We're spotting their ships from really far away. You can see we have good vision. Now they are turning east, which makes me want to button hook west and then turn and button hook back east to parallel their course. Let's try to keep an eye on firing range. We're about halfway to firing range. Well, let's just observe. They are turning hard east. We are able to establish our line ahead formation here. It's good to see. This might be a light cruiser, I'm not sure. Well, that's a big formation of German ships. Okay, it is another weak light cruiser with a very high speed. And we were actually able to hit it, but only with 3-inch guns. The Danzig is returning fire and actually hit the Prote. I think we'll win that engagement though, and knowing that's a light cruiser is really good news. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think we're going to curl east. We're going to curl east with them. Just want to make sure we retain ranging information. Yeah, okay, they're inviting us to turn east with them, with that turn to the east. Right now they're crossing our T, but they're not in range, so it's not effective, which just allows us to sneak up into position to maintain our wind advantage. Our light cruisers are all in good shape. These guys should be up to, let's see, Chateau Renault is up to 20. Well, that's not that great. She needs to really catch it up. Come on. The Illinois also pretty far behind. What the hell is the Chateau Renault doing? Oh no, don't launch your torpedoes yet. I didn't ask you to launch torpedoes yet. Oh god, she's really close. You know what? Maybe it's okay. No, she's turning away, but we are going to be blasting her. Okay, let's just take a look at what the main line is doing. Gonna have to zoom in quite a bit. All right, they are starting to engage with the 12-inch guns, huh? We must have entered range. No, they're engaging our light cruisers. Yes, okay, of course. All right, so light cruisers, you're gonna turn. If we can, we'll swallow up the Danzig class. If not, no worries. At this point, we have our heavy cruisers, our armored cruisers, I should say, coming up at the outside. They're not gonna get there really in time because we're about to turn. What is the range? Okay, at this point I think we make a slight bend to the west and then we curl back as planned to the east. Three more hits on the Danzig class, only 1 6-inch shell. She's only going 5 knots, so we will just curl completely around her and disengage from the main force. I'm losing my voice. 1 sec. Excuse me. Okay. Holy cow. Well, here it is. The Westphalen. The Rhineland. We have a Brandenburg, which only has 10-inch guns. A Prussen, 11-inch guns. The rest unidentified, but plenty of them. This is going to be a big battle. I would just ask you guys to withhold launching torpedoes at our own frickin' ships. But we definitely have that one. Okay, so that's good. And we even are landing a few hits against the mains just to teach her for coming over this way. That's just, it strikes me as such a terrible design with the 2 front and the 2 rear. It's ugly. It's ugly, it's not effective, not very good. Bad overall. Okay, the Sacre Bleu. What we want to avoid is engaging them in a north-south direction. We want to force the engagement to be on the east-west plane. But they are actually kind of doing this maneuver in an intelligent way, pulling back, which should draw us further south. But then they can turn and actually they'll cross our T. However, what may end up happening is that some of these ships will end up engaging us on the east-west, and the Westphalen, the most brutal of their ships, will kind of put themselves out of position. I would also be okay with that. This Danzig class is a goner. I told those guys not to launch torpedoes. Actually, now would be a good time for them to launch torpedoes if that ship is... Yeah, well, she's a goner anyway. But the problem is we don't recognize she's actually a goner, usually for quite a while. Now we are on 228. This guy's on. Let's get him on to 228 as well. God, it's so hard, 228. You can't type it in. This up-down arrow only goes by increments of 5. It's a little problematic. This will tighten up our formation a little bit, having people on the behind. They'll kind of round the corner a little bit more than the previous ship did, which will allow them to catch up. We'll have a really tight battle line when we actually engage. Yeah, I don't know how to deal with this configuration. This formation, the floating blob is really what it looks like to me. It's like a hunchback. I'm just going to let it develop as we continue to move. We're still spraying the Danzig, which is good to see. Yeah, so the Brandenburg actually turned, these two have actually turned, I mean, they didn't turn, basically. What I mean by they turned is that they actually were the only group not to turn. And we still have the option if we want. Oh, these guys missed their turn a little bit. This is going to be a little cumbersome until we can get our battle line established. And once we get that established, hopefully we can just run the ships. What's the distance to target? Getting very, very close. So we're going to have to make our turn back to the south and to the east very soon here. Where's the Sacre Bleu? Okay, so we're actually getting some of these. This is a light cruiser. We need him to get the hell out of the way. Sacre Bleu, do a little smaller turn to the west to prepare for that final turn to the east. Yeah, just get us set up nicely and then we'll be okay. Everything's on the Dan. You see, we're just going to waste ammunition on this Danzig. But yeah, okay. If we decide to withdraw right now, at least we'd be one light cruiser ahead. They decide to tuck back in. That's intelligent. But we're not taking the bait. We're not engaging yet. Once we get a little bit behind them, then we can curl. I don't mind following their tail and then turning east when they come up north to approach us. That'll be us crossing their T. So the mind games begin with an AI which may not even be thinking the way I'm thinking, but I'm giving it credit. Maybe where credit isn't due, but I prefer to imagine it's an intelligent admiral I'm up against. The Danzig class is a goner. Oh god, I missed the Liena's turn. It's getting confusing. Okay, Sacre Bleu is here. We'll have her... Okay, we're just about in engagement range, so we're going to make our turn to the east. Now, we can do this. It's not... Things are not out of control yet. We could let the Liena and the historical... Okay, this is actually genius. We're going to let the Liena and historical gamer kind of jump line, take cuts. And they're going to lead the Sacre Bleu and the Colbert. Which makes sense. They are our two best ships along with the Sacre Bleu. Looks like the Sacre Bleu has a turret jam. That's not actual damage. The damage they report is if your turret is destroyed, or even if it's just temporarily disabled, it reports it as damage. But this, the Huaragaberi and the Ocean, do need to make the turn. Okay. You guys actually need to cut back inside. Like 180, an exact 180. Get you guys not to launch any more torpedoes. You guys can cut inside. You guys cut like this. Down. It's a mess. It's a mess. It's a gosh darn mess. Well, this video has gone on 45 minutes, so we're just going to pause. I'll put a nice little cut in the video here. You could probably... Okay, yeah, we hit the Danzig with a torpedo. Another one on the way. Sacre Bleu. Liena. This one leading here. This one making the turn. This one catching up way over here. Cutting on the inside. Good. I think we're going to be okay. It's quite chaotic. And let's get our heavy cruisers to kind of jump in front of the formation. So ships are going to be crisscrossing all over the frickin' place. But they are coming up, so... Oh, interesting. This is very strange, the way this is going to go. They are curling back up, which is actually the perfect counter to my maneuver here. And I want to keep going, but this video has already gone on way too long. Okay, now they're going to... Okay, so now it's fine. It's fine. It's good. Go like this. You guys go squad max for a little bit, just until you get into the proper position. Yeah, it looks very chaotic, and you'd be right. You'd be right to assume it is. But I think we'll get it all squared away in just a little bit. We want these ships actually moving north of our battleships so they don't interfere with their line of fire. Okay? Looks good. We're starting to get some targets. The battle line is not totally lost. Looks like we'll be able to salvage it. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next episode.